Hey, this is Jason McCoy, and this is your photography VIP Masterclass. When I started in photography many years ago, I never thought it would get me to the point to where I am today. I started off doing photography just helping other people. I used to work in music management outside of my corporate job. And when I was working in music management, we always needed photos for our clients. And I used to have to send my clients to Chicago and New York, but we could never find a great photographer here to photograph dark skin. So I decided to learn myself and started looking into photography and taking in workshops and education. So through all those years of photography, which I've been doing it for many years now, I have really came to the conclusion that there's like really secrets to making sure that every single photo works, and that also to make sure that that you get the best out of every photo shoot. But outside of making sure that you get the best out of every photo shoot, to make sure that you are the best photographer. And there's things that I had to do myself to make sure that I could be the best photographer as possible. So I will tell you, as a photographer, when you're working with clients, you need to remember that everything counts. Everything matters. So that's number one, everything matters. So the lighting matters, making sure that the lighting is on point, making sure that the makeup is looking good, making sure that the hair is in place. If you see hairs and things out of whack, you should fix those. Don't wait wait for retouching to fix those. It's always important that you be very into the details. We also must make sure that the makeup, and we talked about the makeup, and that the energy during the session is really good. Now, what happens when people come to photo sessions, they come there wondering, like, how is this going to turn out? They may be nervous. They may have had a sad day, because most times people are really running back and forth to get to a photo session. So you must be that calming voice. You must be that great energy that when they arrive in the room, they feel like they're at home. So making sure that the energy in the room is absolutely amazing. And lastly, after you have the hair great, the makeup is awesome, the lighting is good, the energy was able to capture everything, then you want to make sure that your retouching is on point. I believe retouching should be really good to the point that it doesn't look like the skin was retouched. It should be very clean and precise and not looking like a doll, as I've seen on many other photos. But you know what? I'm keeping it real for you, so that's why you're in this class. So we want to make sure that the photos look real and precise and clean and sharp, but not over retouched. The second thing you want to do is sharpen your skills. And there's a quote by Malcolm Gladwell that says, the key to mastering any skill is practice, and 10,000 hours and the magic number of greatness. So bottom line is, you must shoot. Shoot in the morning, shoot in the night, shoot in the weekends. You should be honing your skill and working as much as possible. Definitely in your beginning stages, because what's going to outlast technical stuff is experience. There's a lot of times where I've been on sets with different clients, and technically everything was right. The lighting might have been in the right point. Everything else might have been in the right point, but my experience is what was able to make sure the shoot captured, because sometimes things just don't go the way that you should think they should go, right? And you need to have that experience to know that, oh, okay, I remember this time this didn't work, or I remember the last time this was off. So now I can know that I can just switch it up. So the reason why the 10,000 hours work is about gaining experience. It's not more than just you practicing, but it's you practicing different things with different people. I know when I work with a Caucasian client, the way I work with them is going to be different than I work with an African-American client or a darker skinned client, because my lighting will be different. I also learned that there are some people who are very energetic, so I have to keep them on task, because they're going to just run around the studio and they will take over your shoot. Then there's other people who are very chill, and they want to step outside their box, but they're not going to let you know that. They're not going to say it, because what will happen is, due to experience, they'll get done with the photos, and you shot them. You said, okay, I just photographed everything that you showed me. But then they're going to go back. They may go back to the PR person or assistant and say, yeah, I like the photos, but I feel like it's the same that I did before. I feel like I didn't step outside my box. But they weren't giving you anything to step outside the box, so you have to tell them to step outside the box. So bottom line is, experience is going to allow you to know these different kinds of people, these different personalities, different colors, and you'll find out what works and what doesn't work. Third is, you need to let go and let God. Often we get done doing photos and we realize, like, hey, I want to post this online, but something holds us back. Sometimes we think it's not good enough. Sometimes we think that We can see, well, sometimes we can see a little mistake that most people will not see. But once you get done with your work and you gave it 150%, let go. That same thing with photo shoots or video shoots or whatever you do. When your clients are there, you give them 150%. You do not give them less than 100%. You give them 150%. But once your work is done, you let go. You let go. You don't have to keep thinking about the photo shoot. You don't have to keep thinking about what you could have done, what went wrong. Do the work, let it go. When you post the pictures, put it out there, and you never know what could happen. I mean, I can tell you, for example, I had a picture that I knew was great, but I was so worried about posting it and worried about it being out there in public. But however, due to I had a conversation with a mentor, my mentor said post it out because they believe it's a picture that will change the world and change how people see darker skinned people. I posted the picture on Pinterest. I tagged my name on the picture, and I actually had, at that time, my watermark on the picture. Months later, from me posting that picture on Pinterest, I got a call from Ebony Magazine, and they pretty much wanted to have that image as the cover of the magazine for February 2016 Black Love cover. So that all came from me just, first of all, I had that photo for many years, and I never posted it. So finally, when I just put the work out, when I thought that people might judge me for the photo, when I thought that it may not be the best photo, when I thought that it doesn't measure to other photographers, I just let go and let God, and I put it out there, and great things came from that. Fourth, make sure you work with who God has called you to work with. And we call that deciding on what your niche is. I understand my niche is public figures. I work with corporate clients, a lot of politician clients. I've always wanted to, even as a younger child, always want to work with the top people in their field. So it wasn't about them being a celebrity, but it was about them being a specialist in their field. That was one thing that I loved and enjoyed working with. Those are the type of people I love to work with, enjoying. So I'm saying to you is decide what your niche is. Decide what's important for you. Decide who makes you passionate. Decide where you say, I can add the most value to those people, and you hone in on that niche. You shoot photos and more photos and more photos to those type of people, and you post it on your Instagram, post it on your portfolio. Also, not only that, you must network with those people. You must be in those same places where those people are. I remember when I joined the East Bank Club here in Chicago, which is a prestigious gym here. I joined that gym to meet clients. That membership was very, very expensive, let me tell you that. But it was a stepping stone to understand how my client think. Where do my client work out? What do they do after workouts? What do they do when they're at dinner? Because that club had a dinner, they had a bar, it had networking events. So you need to understand the mentality of the type of client you want. You need to understand how they live, what type of kids they have, what education they have, the type of money they make, where do they spend their money, where their values are. All those things are important to building your niche. So not only you decide what niche of what people you want to service, you also need to decide how do they think, and then you need to go in on that, making sure you market to those people. So lastly, in conclusion, I want to say that all those things are important to making you a better photographer. So number one, we always know that everything counts, every detail counts. And then number two is the hours. You must put the hours in so you can gain the experience. And the experience is key. Number three, we got to remember to let go and let God. When you post something, when you do great work, just let go and let God. And number four, you got to remember your niche and to work with the people you have been called for, to understand the people that you have been called for. If you take those four things and apply it to your business, I guarantee you your business will grow. There's no way your business cannot grow by not following those. If you follow those rules, you're going to be good. Or you follow those tips, I'll call it tips or secrets, you'll be good. I will tell you this last thing is the funny thing is this stuff that I'm showing you guys here, I know for some of you, you may say this is simple things, but the good thing is you're not executing. You've heard it before, but you have not acted on it. And same thing in life, you can know a lot of things, but if you never execute, you'll be in the same place you were 10 years ago, you'll be the same place today. You have to execute. So not only am I giving you this information, immediately you should leave, hang up this computer, close it down, and start working on who your niche audience is. What shoot you're going to do next week. You should network with different makeup and hairstylists and wardrobe stylists and see who are the best in their field and see how you can add value to them. And lastly, you just got to put the work in. So listen, thank you for joining the class. I know there were some gems that were laid on your heart that you'll be able to pull out of there. If you are interested in my free download on the essentials I have in my studio, please check out jasonmccoyeducation.com. And that is a free download where you can get all the details of what I have in my studio. So, but before we wrap every shoot, before we wrap every conference or talk, you got to end it with a boom, right? So here we go. 1, 2, 3, boom! Just like that.